you know, it's very clear that there are some outside forces that were trying to determine who the state representative was going to be for House District 79. And but I never doubted for a minute that the voters here in Lee County would see through the attacks and see them for exactly what they are, and that's politics at its worst. And I'm just really gratified to be able to continue to represent this area. And of course, to win by a 19-point margin is just unbelievable. You know, we're doing some great things in this area. I'm proud of what we've accomplished. We have the third lowest unemployment in the state. We're one of the fastest growing areas. Of course, Auburn University, one of the great institutions in America, and I'm proud to be able to represent that. But it really is an honor to represent this area. It's been a tough year with all the campaigning, but you know, that's what happens when you're part of a team that's an agent of change. And we are changing Alabama. Looks like the reports around the state are going to be positive, and that means we'll continue to change Alabama for the better. I want to thank all my friends, our family, my church. It's just, you know, really been amazing. When you go through a tough battle like this, you find out who your true friends are, and Susan and Clayton and Riley and I, we're really blessed that we have some outstanding friends. So again, it's an honor to represent this area. It's an honor to serve as the Speaker of the House, and I look forward to our caucus meeting on Thursday, and hopefully that my colleagues in the House will allow me to continue as the presiding officer.
Speaker Hubbard, what's the next step for you, sir?
Well, the next step will be on Thursday. We'll have a meeting of the House Republican Caucus. It looks like our numbers may even increase over the last quadrennium, and we'll get together as a group and we'll decide who our leadership team is going to be. I am obviously running for re-election as Speaker. I'm hopeful that my colleagues in the House will like what we have done as a leadership team, and will re-nominate me to be the Speaker and our entire leadership team.
Are you concerned at all that these charges may have damaged your reputation among your fellow lawmakers? It didn't appear to sway voters, but are you concerned about your reputation among fellow lawmakers?
Well, you know, the response that I've gotten from my colleagues has been overwhelmingly positive. When we had the press conference here last week, I had 30 House members standing there beside me, very proudly. The verdict last week with Representative Barry Moore, who is one of the finest individuals and one of the finest legislators that I know, I think that sent a very clear message that the jurors, 12 jurors from Lee County, could see through these charges. They saw it for exactly what it was. And I expect the same thing to happen with my situation. And I look forward to declaring my name. It's unfortunate that anybody has to go through something like this. It's unfair, it's not right. You have a rogue prosecutor, it's scary what they can do. But you know, I'm looking forward to clearing my name, exposing what's going on, and then continuing to be a part of a great legislature and making positive changes for the state of Alabama.
You're surrounded by your family here tonight. You said this has been tougher on them than it has you. Have you ever thought about stepping away from politics?
Never. You know, well, my wife would probably like for me to step away from politics, but you know, when I do that, I want it to be on my own terms. And you know, we're just not going to let the outside forces who want to take us back to the way things used to be in Alabama to win. And I'm certainly not going to step down when I haven't done anything wrong. And again, it's an honor to represent this area. I look forward to continuing. I look forward to the challenges ahead, because when we do have some challenges in the state, but there's no doubt with the great team we've put together that we can continue to move the state forward. And it's my wife's birthday today. I hate that we had election day on her birthday, but it turns out a nice birthday present, and then we'll celebrate later on.
I do have one more question for
Sure.
you. Representative Moore, when he was found not guilty, he said the best moment of his life was walking his daughter across the 50-yard line at her homecoming. But there was still, in this amazing moment, this dark cloud over him. And that dark cloud disappeared the day he was found not guilty. This has to be an amazing night for you and your family. Is it overshadowed about the legal battle that you have to come?
Well, it's not overshadowed, no. I mean, this really speaks volumes. This means that the people of this district, they don't buy into what is being thrown at us. You know, you always have that hanging over you. I hate it for what Barry and Heather and their family went through. I mean, it was his daughter's senior year. Last year with the primary going on, it was Clayton's senior year, and you know, you hate that takes place. It's really unfortunate, it's unfair, it's not right. But you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I talked to Barry last week, and you know, he said, look, I mean, we came out of this stronger than ever, and I predict that we're going to do it as well as a family and as a legislature. I believe that this has galvanized us, and it hasn't made us weaker, which was the goal of those who are throwing these attacks. It's made us stronger, and together we're going to make Alabama even better than it is now.
Thank you, sir.
Speaker Hubbard, going forward past the trial into the legislative session, there's a big budget shortfall that Alabama's facing. I'm with the Plainsman. Is there any thing that you'd like to say to Auburn students about Alabama fixing its budget problems, but not touching education funding?
Well, I don't think you're going to see education funding changed in any way to support the general fund. We're going to deal with the general fund just like you do in your family business and in your family homes. I mean, you look at what your means are and you live within your means. We have already started reforming the state of Alabama. We have downsized it. We've made it more efficient, and you know, we're just getting started. So we're going to fix this problem. We're going to do it by being more efficient and being innovative. We're not going to raise taxes. We're going to continue to make Alabama the most business-friendly state in America. We're going to empower the private sector and promote the growth of private sector jobs, and that's how we get out of this hole.
And during the press conference, I asked about the legislative session, and going forward, there's a huge budget hole that we're facing. I think it's $200 million. And do you have any ideas you're willing to talk about publicly yet?
Well, not right now. I mean, obviously, this is election night, so
right.
I mean, we don't even know the makeup of the legislature at this point. We have a good idea, but you know, over the next several months, we don't go into session until March. So we have a lot of smart people, a lot of talented people. We have some really bold ideas involving the private sector. You know, some things that have not been done before, but that we believe will work. And you know, at this point, just as we've done over the last 4 years, just because things have been done the way they have been done for decades doesn't mean that we're going to continue doing it that way. We are changing the status quo, and you know, we're agents of change, and looking forward to exploring all of the different ideas, working with the Senate, my colleagues there. I'm absolutely confident that we will come up with a solution to solve our problems.
Okay, and obviously you're facing the trial in December. Are you worried about that at all?
No, and I don't know that it'll be in December. I mean, it's there's no real hard and fast. I know that's been reported, but right. I don't even know that. But no, I mean, anybody can look at what's been charged and see that it's baseless. I mean, we have a citizen legislature, and basically what I'm accused of is having a job and running a company. And you know, it's going to be clear as we go through this, and I'm really limited on what I can talk about at this point,
right.
But it's going to be clear who's behind this and what this is all about. And at that point, I think, you know, I think the people are going to be satisfied, and hopefully we'll be able to clear my name and anybody else's name and continue to move forward.
And finally tonight, is there any message you have to Auburn students as serving as their representative for the next 4 years?
Well, you know, Auburn students are a very important part of House District 79. Auburn University is obviously the catalyst for economic development, for the economy of this area, and Auburn students are a big part of that. So I urge students to be engaged, follow what's going on in Montgomery. We, as a Republican leadership, have been very friendly toward higher education, particularly research institutions, and understand the return on investment that we get. And you know, pay attention to what's going on, because when you graduate, you're going to be out there trying to make a living, and we're doing everything we can to empower the private sector to grow.
All right. Thank you for talking to me tonight.
Absolutely.